Hey friend, how are you? Hey, I'm doing good. How are you? Hey, look around you. How beautiful this place looks like. The trees, the meadow, the birds, the fruits in the trees, and even the birds in the sky. It looks so lovely. I love this place. But everything looks different. That's the beauty of a Mother Earth. And this is also called biodiversity. Hey, hey, hey. I think today Miss is going to teach the same topic biodiversity. Come on, let's go to Google Classroom and learn more about biodiversity. Bye. Bye bye. Good morning, children. I'm very happy to meet you all, and I'm welcoming all of you back to biology class today. Hope you all are staying safe. Let us go to today's lesson. Do you know what are we going to learn today? The new and interesting topic, biodiversity and its conservation. So what is biodiversity? Bio is nothing but biological things. All the living things come under bio. Diversity, variation, differences in the biotic components. So we're going to learn more about this biodiversity and even biodiversity in India in this lesson. Let's learn the definition for biodiversity first. So what is biodiversity? According to the scientist, in the year 1992, in the UN summit, they say variability among living organisms from all the sources including terrestrial, marine and aquatic ecosystem. They also tell us the diversity within the species and between the species and the ecosystem of the region also come under biodiversity. This biodiversity also reflects a number of different organisms and then their relative frequencies. So what does it use? It helps to maintain the ecological process. So now we're going to learn about biodiversity of the world, especially the biodiversity of India in this lesson. Let's learn the next topic, the concept of biodiversity. So what are we going to learn in this concept of biodiversity? It is introduced by the scientist called Walter Ross in the year 1986 and the assemblage of different landforms based on the concept. It also says that changes in the climatic condition are reflected in the distribution and pattern. If the climate changes, it might affect the distribution of species and the pattern. The number of species per unit are declined from tropic level to pole level. From the tropic level till the poles level, the number will be decreased, reduced. Okay, let us learn the next topic. Levels of biodiversity. So what are the levels of biodiversity we learn? So what is the meaning of levels of biodiversity? Edward Wilson says diversity in all living organisms from population to biome. So the difference will be from the population till the biome. So what are types of biodiversity? What are the levels of biodiversity? Genetic level, species level and even the community or ecosystem level. You also can say genetic biodiversity, species biodiversity, community or ecosystem biodiversity. Let us learn one by one in detail. First one, genetic diversity. So what is the meaning of genetic diversity? It says the difference in the genetic makeup between the distinct species and the genetic variation in a single species, populations, etc. So the gene makeup forms the major genetic diversity. How are the genes formed inside the species? It also tells us the example for this is India has more than 50,000 genetic variation of paddy. So 50,000, there are number of paddies we know, but there are 50 types of paddy variations because of the genetic makeup, genotypic, what we learned in the previous class. The variation increase with the size, habitat, and even it results in different race, variations and the subspecies. So variations results in different species, different variation and different subspecies also. Example for it, Rauwolfia vomitria from Himalaya. So this plant, the species form a subspecies and they show a lot of variation among the species. The next type of variation, what is that? Species diversity or species diversity level. So what are we going to learn? The species diversity level. The variety, number and richness of species in any habitat. When we say species, number of species are formed, you can call this richness of species in any habitat come under species diversity. The next one it says number of species per time per measure. Next, the number of species per unit area. The specific time measure, specific species diversity. So number also play a very major in the species diversity. Example, Western Ghats have greater amphibian compared to the Eastern Ghats. The species are different in different areas. And some of the indices are alpha indice, beta indice and gamma indice. So what are the alpha indice? What do we learn about alpha indice? It is measured by counting the number of species with a particular area. Now what is beta indice? The beta indice is nothing but between two adjacent ecosystem comparing the number of unique species. The gamma indice is nothing but the diversity of habitat over the total landscape or the geographical area. These are the three types of indices we learn in the species diversity: alpha indice, beta indice and the gamma indice. Okay, let us learn the next topic. Next we are going to learn about the third one, the community or ecosystem diversity. So what is ecosystem or community diversity? You can find the various types of ecosystem here. Variety of habitats, biotic communities and ecological processes are happening in the community of ecosystem. From this picture you can find large number of ecosystems also. The diversity at the ecosystem level with several biotic interaction. Biotic inclusive of man, animals, birds, aquatic animals, land animals. So lot of interaction in the lot of biotic interactions. Next one is India. Example, India with its alpine meadow, rainforest, mangrove, desert. So India has large number of varieties of biotic places and varieties of ecosystems. As I told you, alpine meadow, rainforest, mangrove, desert, even the large number of deep green evergreen forests also seen in India. Okay, the next one, the magnitude of biodiversity. How are we going to measure the magnitude of biodiversity? Okay, first, the number of species in a region at a given time. So particular time, how many number of species are grown there. Exact magnitude actually it's not known, it's unknown actually, but with this aspect leads to this process called magnitude impairment. So each year around 10,000 to 15,000 species are identified. So as we learn, number of species in a region are given at a time, but here every year 10,000 to 15,000 species are identified. So what's in India? So in India about 8% of world species and about 92,000 are known, and even India represents 17th place in the mega biodiversity country. So as we are learning, India is very, very, very rich in biodiversity. So next one, patterns of biodiversity. How are we going to learn the different patterns of biodiversity distribution? How the biodiversity are distributed all over the world, even in our country. So the distribution of plants and animals are not uniform but determined by the latitudes and the altitudes. What is latitude? You can find the lines running on the earth, the lateral lines. The altitude is nothing but the height of the place from the sea level. So, the altitude gradient increases with increasing diversity from poles to equator. So, if the animals are, mostly animals will be less in pole because of the temperature. It's very cold. Okay, so they say the altitude gradient increases, increasing diversity. So, as the altitude gone higher and higher, it moves from poles to the equator, center of the earth, the numbers also increases. Example, the birds of Colombia. As it's given, around 14,000 species are found in near the equator. As it grows towards the pole, maybe like New York or some places like that, it reduces into 142, even sometimes reduce near less than 100 number of species also. So decreases in species diversity as ascends a high mountain. It's due to the drop in temperature. As temperature drops down, the number of species also decreases. Let's learn the biogeographical regions of India. So how many biogeographicals are there in India? Around 10 regions are there, since India is very rich in biodiversity. So can we see the snow-capped mountains and the sheep walking on the road? Which part of the country is Himalayas? This region is exactly called Trans-Himalayan region. Okay. Now, so what are the places come under Trans-Himalayan region? So it is extended from Tibetan plateau, from Tibet, with very high altitude, the distance from sea level, with a very cold desert. It's a desert, but it's a very cold desert. Very commonly known place, especially now, the Ladakh. You all remember there's a war going on between India and China, and around 20 soldiers were killed. Yes, that's a Ladakh place called Ladakh, and it also says it covers around 5.7% of the India's land mass. Okay, so what does it says? So what are the animals you find there? You can find the animals like wild sheep, goat, and even mainly these are grown for or reared for the wool product. So this is place where they prepare the world's best wool products here. What are the animals actually apart from this sheep and the goat? You can find chiru, backdrop crane. All these are found here in this place. Next one. Let's learn the next topic. Himalayas. Here the completely snow-covered mountain. So what is special about this part of Himalayas, or this part of diversity? Here we have the diverse range of biotic and biomes, and it also covers 7.2% of our country, India's landmass. So what are the fauna, what are the animals you find here? The animals like sheep, goat, snow leopard, panda, all these are animals found here, and most of them became the endangered species of Himalayas. The next place. So which place is this? Yeah, as you discussed, as you understood, it is a desert place, Indian desert. We have beautiful desert in the north and part of our country. So let's learn about the Indian desert. So what is as we're learning about the Indian desert, the first one, it's extremely hot, arid area with a hill called Aravalli Hill Range. So how does this desert look? The salty desert. We have two deserts in India. One is in little part is in Gujarat, the other part is in Rajasthan. So salty desert of Gujarat and sand desert of Rajasthan. It covers around 6.9% of our country landmass. So what are the animals you find there? Animals like wild ass, it says Indian bustard, camel, snakes, all these animals you can find in the Indian desert of Gujarat and Rajasthan. Let's go to the next biodiversity, the semi-arid zone, the fourth one, the semi-arid zone. So what is there in semi-arid zone? It is between the desert and Deccan Plateau. So it is neither desert nor a plateau. It's between the desert and the Deccan Plateau. So 15% of this semi-arid zone forms Indian landmass. And what are the animals you find here? What are the fauna do you find here? The fauna, like it says, nilgai, blackbuck, antelope, sambar, chital, spotted deer, Asiatic lion, tiger, leopard, jackal. It's very, very, very rich in the fauna. The next zone, Western Ghats. It's a beautiful place of India, the Western Ghats. So where do we have this Western Ghats? A mountain range along the western part of India. Okay, from where to where? It says from Gujarat to Kerala, around 1500 kilometers from Gujarat to Kerala in the western part of India. So annual rainfall, as you see in the picture, it's a very green picture. You'll find large number of plants, the flora here, because of the annual rainfall. The annual rainfall is around 2000 millimeter, and the fauna, the animals, as you see here, the Nilgiri tahr, the state animal of Tamil Nadu, and the tiger, the Indian elephants, all these are the fauna, the animals you can find inside in the Western Ghats. See how lovely the elephant calf is playing with its mother. Okay, the next region, or the next biodiversity of India, Deccan Plateau, Deccan Peninsula. So what's special about Deccan Peninsula? It is south and central plateau with deciduous vegetation. It is there in the south part of India and in central part of India in the plateau, and it is also deciduous vegetation. So 4.3% of it form around 4.3% of our country's landmass, India's landmass. So what are the animals you find here? Can you see the bear, and you can also find the animal called sambar. So fauna is like a chital, sambar, the elephant, the sloth bear. These are the animals you can find in the Deccan Plateau. The next region, the Gangetic Plains, the river Ganga, where the river Ganga flows. So it is defined by the Ganges river Ganga, and it occupies around 11% of land mass. You can find there it spreads from east to west, the green color band in the Indian map. The land is completely fertile, and it extends up to the foothills of Himalayas. So it's a very fertile, rich place, and it is for this place, Gangetic Plains, found in the foothills of Himalayas, where you have a very large and rich vegetation also. The faunas like rhino, buffalo, swamp deer, all these you can find here. The next, Northeast Indian biodiversity, Northeast India. So what is Northeast India? So how are the Northeast India biodiversity is situated are aligned? The plains and Himalayan hills ranges of North India with 5.2% of country's mass. So the plains completely present in the north part of India, and even the Himalayan hill range come under the Northeast India, and it also says it covers around 5.2% of India's landmass. So it represents India, Indo-Malaysia, and even Indo-China biographical region, and its biographical gateway. It is also called biographical gateway because it connects countries like China, Malaysia, etc. So what are the fauna? This place is also called hotspot, the region, because this place is under threat. All the animals and plants in this region are about to be endangered. That's why this place is called hotspot. And the fauna like rhinos, leopards are very, very common in the Northeast India. The next region, coastal region. So we have many coastal regions. Actually, India is a peninsula where we are covered with sea, water in all three sides. So what are you going to learn about the peninsula, the coastal region here? Here in India, the coastal region is for sandy beaches, mud flat, the coral reefs, and even the mangroves with 2.5% of land mass. Example for this coastal region, the coastal region line from Gujarat to Sundarban, and even the Lakshadweep also example for the coastal region. So what are the animals, fauna do you find here? The crab, turtles, and even the tunas are also example for this. Okay, the next one. Andaman and Nicobar, the last biodiversity of India, richest biodiversity of India. And this also come under hotspot, Andaman and Nicobar Island. So what is special about Andaman and Nicobar Island? Highly diverse, different varieties of biomes are there in Andaman and Nicobar. And it also covers around 0.3% of India's landmass. So India's evergreen forest, this forest present in the Andaman Nicobar is also called India's evergreen forest. And even the fauna here are like hornbill. You can find the hornbills here. Hornbills of Andaman, the South Andaman Crate are very common in the place of Andaman. So that's all from today's class. Whatever doubts you have, please note it down. We'll meet during the doubt clearing Zoom classes. Clarify your doubts. I'll be there for you, waiting for you. So have a great day, children. Stay safe and be happy. Goodbye.